Hey, this is JD of JD's Mancave, coming at you again tonight on a big old Saturday night. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is JD of JD's Man Cave. Just thought I'd pop in today and, drop a little knowledge, a little information, a little whatever it takes, you know what I'm saying? Because here at the Man Cave, we like to talk about problems that have been affecting Black men and just really men in general. We have so many problems and fights that we have to fight that is not germane to the Black female's lifestyle, but it is germane to the Black men, because we have a different set of problems. Black women have their own sets of problems and Black men have their sets of problems, but we need to help each other work those problems out, because so many brothers nowadays are what they call it, abandoning their posts as Black men. We have a lot of things in our society that has caused us to lose our way and lose the battle, the real battle. We have fights that we shouldn't even be fighting amongst each other, but we overlook the big battle, which is the true essence of what we should be standing for and standing up to take care of. So, we have moved the studios down to Texas City, Texas. A nice facility, and my wife is still my production manager, and she's still getting things together for me, and we're still test driving this new facility, this new platform that we're going to be using. But I must admit, I love the upgrade, and in your life, that's what you want, upgrades. When you move, you want to move and make sure it's an upgrade. So I want to just shout out to my wife, who's Miss Queenie Daniels, Pastor Daniels, whatever y'all want to call her, but she is an amazing, awesome entity. That's the best way I can describe her, because she has her own little solar system, her own little, gravitational pull that she has in society, and I love it all the things that she does. But today on Man Cave, we're gonna talk about the difference between a male and a man. There's a difference between a male and a man. I saw there's a brother that plays Remy on Queen Sugar, and he has a new book out called that deals with the dynamics of us as Black men, the difference between being a male and a man. Male is your gender, man is your actions. To sum it up pretty easily, because we have too many males out here fronting like they are men. Because a man takes care of his business as far as a man does. He does manly things, and he expedites his life like a man. He walks through it and moves through it like a man. Now, just being a male is your gender. We have so many males that aren't men. They have feminine ways, they have feminine outlooks, they're very, very emotional, they're very tight wound, they're very just femaleish. That's all that's the best way I can say it without offending anybody. But there are so many males out there that are not men. They neglect the post that is afforded to a man. And what I mean by that is they'll have kids with a young lady, and instead of partnering with that young lady and helping her to raise that child that they have created, they move on. They are quick to drop the ball and neglect the responsibility that they have taken it upon themselves by helping to create this life. See, because a man finds a woman and he partners up with her and creates the entity of a family. That's what a man does. Now, a male will dip and dab and jump back and forth in and out like he's playing double dutch with his life. You know, and that's just not going to be conducive to our black community being stronger. Actually, it weakens our black community because it ends up making broken households, broken families, broken children, broken wives, broken black females. And many men talk nowadays about black women being too strong. Well, let me tell you something, brother. One thing about a black woman, she's not going to let her life fail. She has it in her to be a mother and a nurturer. And anything that you give a black woman, she's going to multiply. You give her some sperm, she gives you a baby. You give her some groceries, she gives you a dinner. You see what I'm saying? She multiplies. She turns small things into bigger things. So she's not going to let the fact that you walked out on her and left her with this child, she's not going to crumble and not be strong and still raise this child. So many black kids are being raised in single households out of the fact that daddy booked up. He took off. He packed his bags and rolled out because he couldn't handle repression. That is what I mean by abandoning your post as a man. See, we get it misconstrued that if we tough and we talk loud and we cuss everybody out and we walk around like we swole with $500 worth of air in your chest, that you're a man. That does not make you a man. Just because you're the loudest in the room does not make you the man. A man moves with poise, persistence, and consistency. And that way that's what defines him as a man. And he handles pressure with him. Many brothers that I know, I've seen them crumble under the smallest little adversity. Only thing I can do for them is pray for them and offer them some advice. But some of them are so pig-headed that they don't even take your advice. They think you get in their business. Well, let me tell you something about your business, brother. Your business is ragged. And I feel it, I feel it beneath me not to offer you some better information or better route out from what you have gotten yourself into. I feel remiss by not offering you any information. But like I said, some brothers you just can't even talk to, man, because they think they got it all figured out. And I don't like people like that. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I am 51 years old and I'm still learning things. I learned things from 15-year-olds, from 14-year-olds, from 24-year-olds, from 34-year-olds, 44, 64. It doesn't matter where the information comes from. If it's a better way of doing things and I see someone doing it, I want to emulate that. But so many of us get caught up in our pig-headedness and our stubbornness and our pride that we can't even receive better information when it's given to us. And we have a tendency to get mad at folks because they're trying to correct you. But brother, if you're wrong, you should be praying for correction. I'm being honest with you. There's no reason that you should neglect correction, because oftentimes correction offers you a better route out. And you never know who God sends to give you that correction and help you through your life. So I don't even understand, where do we even start with our community? Because we have so many failures in our community as far as personal problems. We subject ourselves to substances, to alcohol, to different things that hinder our growth. And we think that that's cool. We think that that's all right. We think that we got it going on because we drink every weekend or we get drunk. Just because you get drunk, your problems ain't going nowhere, brother. When you get sober, they still be there. Sometimes they're even bigger than what they were when you got drunk the first time. So it's better to just go ahead and put one foot behind the other and take care of your problems. Sometimes you got to put your back against the wall and throw punches so your troubles don't sneak up behind you. But we have battles that we need to fight within and without, without our outside of our community. Say it like that's the best way I can say it. We have inner battles that we need to fight and succeed in, and we also have outside forces that we need to be battling on a daily basis. But we take ourselves out of the game with the anger in our community. We're killing one another. We're fighting over petty disagreements, arguments. You see brothers getting killed every day on the news. You see fights, battles, guys going to jail, taking themselves away from their families and their children, away from these women. Again, that's abandoning your post. And let me tell you something, when you abandon your post, you cannot get mad if someone else steps in and takes up your battle. You have to, even if that someone is the woman herself, sometimes she'll just step up and don't need you anymore. And let me tell you something, that's the worst thing that ever happened is a woman get to the point where she feels that she does not need you. And she's able to thrive, because women always say, I can do bad all by myself. And that's the truth. But some of them choose to do good all by themselves as well. And we can't get mad at a woman who wants to do well, because that is the way that you should be trying to do yourself as a man. You always want to be building. You want to be strengthening. You want to be climbing the ladder towards success, as they call it. So, like I said, we want to talk about the difference between being a male and a man. A man takes his responsibilities seriously. He does not neglect, he does not run, he does not hide, he does not procrastinate when it comes to his responsibilities. Whatever he's created, he takes care of. Whatever he has committed to, he takes care of. See, we have a problem with commitment and responsibility as Black men. We will say that we're going to do something and never get it done. We procrastinate on getting it done. We think that if we just ignore a problem, it'll go away. No. When you have problems in your life, you need to meet those problems head on with a good plan of action so that you can get those problems taken care of. Because let me tell you something, a problem is just like a bad injury. If it goes unattended, all it does is fester and get infected, and it gets worse. So I just want you to understand that that's something that men have to do. We have to take care of our problems. But see, a male, on the other hand, he will get loud and boisterous and think that he's the loudest one in the room, he's right. And which most of the time, I used to have a teacher that would say, an empty noise make a lot of an empty wagon makes a lot of noise. And what she meant by that is your head is empty, so you just rattling off at the mouth. And I mean, that was way back in elementary, and that stuck with me all my life about an empty wagon making a lot of noise. So we have to understand that we have to use our intellect and our ingenuity to maneuver and get through our problems on a day-to-day basis. But like I said, a male makes, what do you call them? Chaotic, chaotic moves. He does not think out his plan. He does not entertain the ingenuity that he is given to solve his problems. So we have to get away from those type of ways of handling things and understand that we have to help Black women to raise healthy families, which in turn raises healthy kids, which makes a healthy community. And it gets rid of a lot of our anxieties and hang-ups that we have in our community that we still dealing with way after slavery, that we have no business still dealing with. But we still 60 years later, Martin Luther King was killed in 1968. And we still battling a lot of the same problems, if not worse, that our Black community was dealing with back in in the late 60s. And we have not found an answer or a leader that has helped us out of our situation. And I think that the real reason why we haven't found, per se, a leader is because each one of us should be a leader in our own household. We should step up and take the mantle and guide our families individually. And if we guide our families to be stronger families, we will end up with a stronger community and a stronger Black society. But so many times we fail in that as Black men. And I don't care what they say, you know, and I don't care who thinks about it. But when it all comes down to a Black man, it is our responsibility to heal, to heal and to navigate our society and our household. First thing you take care of is your own individual household. Then you start taking care of your block, your community. Then that way, all of that strength builds up to a stronger society. If every Black man stood up and took his rightful place and started to be a true leader and lead in wisdom and understanding and spiritual guidance with his kids, his wife, and his entire household, our world would be so much better. We would drop off a lot of the problems that we end up having nowadays. So we need to just get back and step up and become men. You know, I'm looking forward this year. You know, we're here at the end of January, and we still are having problems that have lingered on from 2020. You know, as far as COVID, we have racism, we have just neglect, we have brokenness, we have what is it called? Recidivism. Yeah, you know, we have so many problems in our Black community that we need to deal with. We have to start right now. And Black man, let me tell you something, it's gonna take us to start. Now the thing about it is one thing to get started, it's another thing to actually deal with it and finish it. Because everybody gets started and then, you know, we'll fall off by the wayside. And that's why white people don't mind us protesting and hollering and picking in signs, because they know pretty soon we're gonna put them signs down, we're gonna be right back to standing on the corner drinking 40 ounces and cussing our women out and slapping our kids around and missing work and not working, period. You know, some of us have so much in us that we are not, that's untapped, that we don't even attempt to use. And let me tell you something, that old adage that they used to say, use it or lose it. Let me tell you something, either you use your gifts or you're gonna lose your gifts. God gives all of us gifts. You had it right in the camera. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, you're either gonna lose it or use it or lose it. And that's just how it works. So we need to get out here and tap into whatever your gifts are and give that back. You know, give that back to your community and make yourself useful in your community and make yourself a pillar and a force within your community, rather than sitting around on your hands, twiddling your thumbs or whatever, or sitting on the corner with the rest of the cats, drinking 40 ounces and cussing and acting a fool when you could be out doing something prosperous and building your household rather than tearing it down, going back home after you got drunk off that old English 800. And then Wild Irish Rose, you go back to your house and just tear the whole house down and then wonder why nothing is working in the house. Well, nothing in your house is not gonna work until you decide that you're gonna work, period. Nothing will work in your life until you decide that I'm gonna work. So, you know, you have to grab that up. And I don't know where we lost our pride in our community and taking care of our families. I don't know where Black men lost that, because we, once upon a time, we were a prideful, well-groomed, well-educated, articulate. We had standards in our community. Nowadays, we don't have any standards. We go with the flow. If it swings over here to the left, we go over there. If it swings to the right, we swing that way. That's not, you have to be steadfast and committed to getting the job done as a black man. We have work to do, brothers, and we need to get to work today, not tomorrow. Now I'm asleep and then give me some rest and then I'll get to work. No, get started right now. As they say, R-A-T now. That's even faster than right. Yeah, so you get started today and right now. You need to be thinking of a plan on how to better your situation. And whatever your plan and your long-term shirts, you have to start with short-term goals and then build your way up to long-term goals. Because you have to have a plan. If you don't make a plan, you can go ahead and plan to fail. I mean, you know, that's just how it is. And because nothing happens by happenstance, as they say. You know, sometimes I think we're waiting on a miraculous light to hit us in the forehead or something. I don't know what brother standing on them corners waiting on. But I am up every morning thinking, you know, reflecting, spending time with the Lord, you know, getting my spiritual man together, because your spiritual man dictates your worldly man. And you have to understand that you have to have a plan, brother. If you don't have a plan, you out of there. It's not going to work. You know, and the best laid plans sometimes don't work. And you got to have a backup plan. You got to make a plan for if your plan don't work. So that's why I say that there's no time for sitting around just relaxing, hanging out with the fellas. You know, I love to hang out with the fellas and play a little dominoes and stuff like that. But believe me, by that time when I do that, then it's called leisure time. But when it's time to get down and grind and handle my business, I'm up and I am handling my business. I have a plan for everything, and I try not to make moves without thinking about it, without planning, without strategically getting things together. You don't just jump out there. That's not what you want to do. Let me tell you something. You jump out there, you can get hit in the road. There's traffic out there. And if you don't look both ways, before you try to cross, you can get hit. That's just the way it goes. Yeah, so like I said, I just wanted to get back on here because we're getting ready to start JD's Man Cave. We're going to revamp it. I'm going to be looking for more audience participation. I will be looking for some brothers that I know that I will bring on here via video, and we'll have conversations like that. But we are actually getting into 2021. 2021, baby. That's up there. We get there, man. You know, the time waits for no one. So if you're waiting on something, I don't know what you're waiting on, because it's gonna pass you by. You know, you gotta just hop in there and get to work and get to going. So like I said, this has been JD's Man Cave. I wanted to just get you a quick little snippet and talk about a few things and put something on your mind for brothers to go back and do your homework, because we all have work to do. There's no time for sitting around, you know, waiting on what are we waiting on? I have no idea. We're gonna have to just get it done. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. This has been JD of JD's Man Cave. And I'll see you next time on the next show. Next Saturday, we'll be right here again. See you later.
Hey, this is JD of JD's Man Cave, coming at you again tonight on a big old Saturday night. We want to thank y'all for tuning in.